My next guest is from the world of dance. She's a premier ballerina who has studied and danced with the elite American Ballet Theater, and now she's heading her own company, the City Ballet of Los Angeles. So, Robyn Gardenhire, welcome to the Urban Roundtable.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
It's my pleasure to have you. Now, the City Ballet of Los Angeles.
Yes.
This is your company?
This is my company and school.
How did that come about? Tell us about that.
Well, I'm from Los Angeles originally, and I moved away when I was about 15 years old to have my own dance career. And upon returning to Los Angeles, I noticed there wasn't a ballet company anymore. I grew up with Los Angeles Ballet. That was a company here with John Clifford, who used to be a principal dancer with New York City Ballet. So that's how I got my beginnings. So coming back here and seeing that Johnny didn't have a company anymore, there are some wonderful schools here, but nothing in the way of building upon a company. And instead of just going out and teaching for schools here and schools there, and I did that. And I think what happened was I've kind of been around. I know what it's like to grow up as a dancer and to get to be a professional dancer. And a lot of the local schools, small schools, they're not geared towards that. They're geared towards, you know, giving the kids everything, tap, ballet, jazz, modern, hip hop. And that, it wasn't doing anything for me. So, and in one instance, it would have been very nice to create a company, I thought. But you can't really create a company without really having the foundation of a really good school. So that was my plan and my mission, and I started building the school first, and on top of that, so they scrunched together a company.
Now that's got to be very, very difficult. Also has to be very hard to maintain.
Yes, very.
What do you do for funding?
We have scholarship benefits once a year and little cocktail parties throughout the year. We also do a Nutcracker now, which is now raising some money for us. But you know, it's struggling because it is a full scholarship school. The kids do pay a minimum fee of $20 a month to take lessons. And it really is because I have geared the school towards kids that really can't afford lessons. Lessons are now $15 to $20 a class.
Right.
And it becomes very expensive to do. And I grew up in Linwood, California, and my first school was in Compton. And after I left that neighborhood school, I auditioned for the Los Angeles Ballet and got a full scholarship there, but they were in Beverly Hills. So I then had to take 2 buses from Linwood, downtown LA, bus to Beverly Hills. So I really wanted to put it in an area that kids wouldn't be able to really do, that couldn't afford those lessons, and put it, you know, downtown.
Before we get into your actual professional career as a dancer and all, I'd like to really, I'd like for you to tell our audiences how they can help with raising funds for the company. I mean, is there a site that they can go to?
You can go to our website, cityballetofla.org, and we have a whole page that says donations, and if you want to volunteer, you can, you know, just email and be a volunteer. It's all kinds of ways.
It's important, ladies and gentlemen, that we support Robyn and her company, and any art company really, but certainly a company like this, a ballet company. Okay, so anyway, ballet companies are, they have to be difficult to introduce to the community, aren't they?
They really are. So what we have done is we have our plan is a kind of rounded. We start with an outreach program. So we do go out into the community and go into different elementary schools. This year we had 14 schools in the Inglewood School District, and we've been in LAUSDs, we've been in charter schools, so those kids get a little taste of just the basic arm movements and foot movements, know the vocabulary, know what a pas de chat is, but then we take it, and this year we did a West Side Story. So it breaks it down to more fun for them. They get to jump, they get to slide, and you know, slide on the ground. The boys love it. So you introduce them in a fun environment, because ballet especially is a little rigid at the beginning when you're first learning it, and it's hard to take to sometimes. So that's what we start with our outreach program. Those kids are invited to come to the school, take classes on Saturdays. I take everybody, but we do have our 2 folds. We have our kids that, yes, I can see some potential in this little boy or little girl that they'll become a dancer. So we have closed CBLA classes. And then we have our open classes that come on in, enjoy the dance, because dance is really not, it's not one of those things I feel that I'm going to be a dancer. If you're not going to be a dancer, you are learning structure. You're learning to suit up, to show up on time, have your uniform on, and you're ready to go. You're learning discipline. You're learning to stand there nice and tall, breathing, concentration. So many things that you could take on to your life, becoming a doctor, a lawyer, a mom, a dad.
Now you mentioned a pas de deux is what? I mean, I know you mentioned something else.
I said pas de chat.
Now,
pas de chat is just a jump, it's a leap. But a pas de deux is the dance with a man and a woman, or man and man, or woman and woman, pas de deux. Partnering work.
Pas de deux. So you learn all these things at
I learned
CBLA.
all these things.
Oh, I mean at CBLA. Now,
CBLA, yes, of course.
Yeah, you learn all these things. Now, let's talk a little bit about your career. Now, I read that Mikhail Baryshnikov was responsible for or requested your...
I auditioned for American Ballet Theater, and it was you go through an entire week of taking company class, and each ballet master or mistress comes in to see you take class with the company, see if you fit in, if you know. And the last class was Misha came in, and which was so great about him coming in was he didn't just sit there and watch class. He came in, he took class.
Oh, wow.
So it's really, you get a feel for that person in class, and maybe you dance with them and do the, big jump across the floor with them. And he was really very kind, and he didn't have a soloist contract, he said, but I have a core contract, and I give you the highest pay for a core contract, but you do soloist work, it'll be okay, So it was a complete, like, off-the-cuff surprise to actually get into American Ballet Theater, because I had already danced at Joffrey, and I was a principal with Cleveland Ballet, so I pretty much was out and about and having my career, and it just came upon that I was able to take company class and get in the company.
Yeah. Now, is Ailey Ailey's not strictly ballet?
Ailey isn't ballet. Ailey is modern.
Ailey's modern. But was it ever ballet?
No.
It wasn't?
No. DTH.
Okay.
Ballet.
Okay.
Dance Theater of Harlem, yes.
Dance Theater of Harlem.
Dance Theater of Harlem, Arthur Mitchell's company, right.
Right, Arthur's company. And so CBLA aspires to be?
The company for Los Angeles.
Okay.
There isn't one. We have an opera, we have the Philharmonic, we have theater going on. We don't have a company that represents Los Angeles. And I wanted to represent Los Angeles as far as who's sitting in the seats, reflecting what's on the stage.
Right.
And in most cases, the ballet does not do that.
Right.
If you unless if you Dance Theater of Harlem, the same thing, because it would be an all-black ensemble. I mean, he actually has integrated more different ethnic, racial
and he has been
mixture.
doing that for a long time.
Ailey always has, pretty much. But my idea is I really want to see that reflection from the stage to our audience, and it would only make the art form grow, because at this point, if you only have certain people going to the ballet or going to the orchestra, those things die down, So we need to really uplift and bring a whole rejuvenation to this art form, and I think by bringing it to different cultures, can only do that. I
think it's a fabulous concept. I really do. Give us an idea of what you guys are into, what you're going to be doing, what's coming up, or
Right now, what's coming up, we're doing our scholarship benefit for the school. We're doing it at the Red Cat Disney Hall Theater, which is a great, great space. It's Disney Hall is on top, and the Red Cat is over to the side, and it's like kind of an experimental theater from Cal Arts. So we've been there. This is our second year there, and they've been very generous and giving us a very wonderful rate.
Well, you need that.
And we need that, exactly. We need that from theaters. And so it's just really going to be, it's always a demonstration of what the kids have learned throughout the year. We bring in the outreach, one of the outreach programs, and this year we're bringing the Accelerated Schools. It's a charter school right on King Boulevard and Main Street. We're bringing the boys who did the West Side Story to come and perform. And our closed class will be performing. We'll show a short film. We did a PSA this year, a public service announcement with women in film.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're
Yeah.
going to show a part
Oh, nice.
of the building of that. It's not complete yet, but we have the outtakes from it.
Right.
So we'll also show that and bringing in the community to see what we're doing.
What about corporate sponsorship? That seems to me to be something that's in order for what
Definitely.
you're doing.
Well, we are looking at, since we are downtown and really trying to integrate into that rejuvenation of downtown, the building of downtown, we have some developers
Good.
that are key funders for
Yeah,
us, yes.
great.
The head of my board, Doug Hansen, is an architect. And his firm is DeStefano and Partners, and he's also partnering, he's doing a building for Astani. Sonny Astani is a really big developer downtown.
Yeah, no,
and
I know who
yeah,
you're talking
building some
about.
wonderful things. So we're, you know.
Because
we're looking.
I think a couple of big corporate grants or whatever
Exactly.
support all around.
Exactly.
And I know you know what you're doing, so.
Yeah, we have other people working those kind of things.
Right.
I wear a lot of hats. I'm trying to take those hats off, and you know, the board is coming along, so it's coming along well.
Right. Now, you still dancing, of course?
Oh no.
No?
I can't.
Stop.
I took that hat off.
Stop, really?
Yes.
Why?
Well,
I mean,
I'm too old.
no. I mean, you know, you may be too old. You didn't say that, did you?
No.
To dance with the young. I mean, no, I just wondered. It was something
Well, you
that
know what? I
because
feel
I'm watching you and I'm thinking.
I was just telling someone the other day that I really do miss performing, but you know, since I've been doing this is so much. This is a great deal of things to do, and if I had to concentrate on myself being on stage as well, I don't think these would come together quite as
Sure.
well. You really have to focus and mold your dancers. You know, the company members need that person to be up front to really, you know, be the leader
Right.
instead of on the team completely. Now, I feel that when I'm directing that I am kind of a team player. I still have that dancer's feeling. I know we need a break when we need a break and to take advantage
Right.
of all of that. So I'm still a dancer in that sense. But being a director, I really need to have my eyes open to everything. And when I'm on stage, if I was on stage dancing, I don't think that would work out.
Right.
very
No,
well.
that was. It was just a question.
Yeah,
I thought
yeah,
I
no.
knew. I think I knew what you were going to say, but I just wondered because I'm looking at you and you're so graceful, and whenever
Yeah,
you've got
thank
ballet
you.
dancers. I mean, it's just such a wonderful thing to see the posture. The I didn't want you to bang on your microphone.
No.
But
and that goes back to the kids that are training. Even if they don't become dancers, they get this type of poise and posture, and especially for the young ladies now. Our young ladies, you know, they're
Right.
12 years old and they might look like they're 20 years old. And I
Right,
think
right.
I have some students in there that are 12 and they're still 12.
wow.
They're becoming young ladies.
How has it been? It being your school, your company, your dancers, your programs. How has that been accepted by the minority community? Do you get participation as it relates to patrons in that sense?
Right. You know, it fluctuates. I would have to say I have some competition in Los Angeles as far as black directors, being directors of school as your Little Washington and the
Oh,
Debbie
yeah.
Allen schools.
Yeah.
A lot of our black community are geared towards that
That
because
kind of
that's
dance, yeah.
polarized. And I'm really not new. I'm really not new anymore. I used to be new, but I'm not anymore. And I think that sometimes if you don't see yourself as a ballet dancer, if you're not seeing that on television or on stage,
Right,
it really is hard to connect to that, I think, a lot of times for our children. And it really is one of my goals to really reach out to black children and, you know,
It's not
introduce this-
insurmountable.
No,
Right.
no, you know, so, and in growing up, it's a strange thing for me because I don't think I ever saw it really. I mean, I saw it in Compton. There was one woman, Anna Marie Laveau, who was one of the lead
Yeah, of
dancers
course,
at
I
that
know.
school, and she was gorgeous, and I loved Anna. But as far as going through my career and growing up in schools, I didn't really see that many black dancers at all. Anna
Right.
Bennett Sims was a principal dancer with the American Ballet Theater
Right.
in the 70s. But so
Now Debbie and Lula, they're not. Are they class? They're not classically trained. They're modern.
right, it's more modern. But their schools give everything. They give the modern, the tap, the jazz, the ballet.
Right. I
all
was
of
going to say
those
because I was at
things.
one of Debbie's, and they were doing ballet.
Right,
but
right.
So they do it. And I
They
think,
do. They do have a ballet program there.
I
Definitely.
don't know if Lula does.
Lula, I think she has a ballet program,
okay.
but her company is a modern company.
Right, right. And a
Yeah.
good company. I mean,
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
both those companies. As a matter of fact, you
Definitely.
mentioned the Christmas thing that you do.
Nutcracker.
Nutcracker. Debbie was doing that back in D.C. when she was living in, when she was there. As a matter of fact, she was in one of my
Really?
companies back there, and started doing that.
Right.
And that works.
Right,
That
it does.
really works.
Well, because it's the Christmas time,
Yes.
and everyone has
Yes.
that feeling and bringing the family, going to the theater.
It's a great little story.
It is.
Yeah.
Ours is has a little twist to
Good.
it as well, which integrates everybody into
Right.
it. It's done in Los Angeles in the 1940s,
Oh,
during
okay.
World War II, in Hancock Park.
Oh.
So our mansion is in Hancock Park,
That's
and
interesting.
our stars. The Maria is supposed to be the little girl who falls in love with the Nutcracker. And I'm not a real fantasy person, so I like a little reality bite in there. Our prince has gone away to the war and is coming home for Christmas Eve to enjoy the party. Our Maria used to be with the Los Angeles orphanage, and she got too big for the orphanage and didn't know where to go. Every
Right.
year they have this party at the Shook family house, and all the orphans come to her house. So now Maria works for the Shook family and has always been in love with her oldest son, Jim.
So you really did twist it
I
around.
really did
and made
twist it
and
around,
I like that.
exactly. So she's like a mini housekeeper kind of thing, and he comes home and he gives presents to all his brothers and sisters, and then she's standing there, and he didn't give her anything. So the Drosselmeyer character, who's kind of like the uncle, very mysterious character, sees that Jim didn't bring anything home, and so he has a nutcracker and slides it into him and gives it to her.
Right,
So
right.
when a girl receives a gift from a guy, how she's in love.
Right, of course.
So that winds up the storyline, and then they go to all the different lands. We even incorporate a Korean folk company and a Mexican folkloric company. So when they go to different lands, it's usually ballet dancers going to Spain, and they're doing
Right.
Spanish. But I thought, this is Los Angeles. We have all kinds of different folk dances here, and then we like to incorporate more in the next year. We keep Arabian because Arabian's always
Sure.
sexy and good.
But that's exciting, though. And
Yeah.
now, when you are ready to do that, that'll be up on your site. That information will
Oh,
be up on
definitely,
your site.
definitely.
So the audiences can come in droves
Exactly.
to see you guys do
Right.
Nutcracker.
And you can buy online.
And buy online, and then if they're interested, and there may be some young ballerinas out there watching this show,
Right.
they can contact you guys.
Exactly. That would be fantastic. Yeah.
Well, I am going to say thank you so much, Robyn,
Thank you.
for coming, and good luck with the company.
Right.
I'm very proud of what you're doing.
Thank you.
And if we can help in any way, just let us know. We'll
I
have
will.
you back on the show, because I know they loved what they heard, and they're going to want to hear what you're doing, Nutcracker and whatever else.
In the fall season, we'll have a fall season, winter season, and spring season.
You are
That'd be great.
exquisite, my
Thank
dear.
you so much.
Thank you so much for coming to the
Sure.
Roundtable.
Ah,
Right.
great.